ever dream of speaking English fluently? Like, really confident conversations, kicking back, watching movies or TV, no subtitles needed.
Yeah, or just feeling comfortable, writing emails or sharing stuff online.
Exactly. It's a goal lots of people have, right? But then there's that nagging thought. Ooh, sounds expensive, like years of classes, maybe tutors.
That idea is so common that you have to pay for formal lessons to get good at a language.
Totally.
Huh?
And, well, that's why the source we're looking at today really caught our eye. We found this guide, and it makes a pretty bold claim.
Oh, yeah?
It says you can actually reach English fluency all on your own, and, get this, using only free resources.
Wow. Okay. So it doesn't just say it's possible. It lays out a plan.
A whole step-by-step system, apparently, designed for anyone, like whatever your starting level, to teach yourself without spending a dime.
Interesting.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this guide. It's called Fluent English, Learn Alone for Free. We want to pull out the practical steps, look at the tools it recommends, some might surprise you.
And show people how this thing that seems so daunting, learning fluent English, might actually be something you can start doing right now with stuff you already have.
Exactly. That's the core idea. It's meant to be really accessible, really empowering.
And the source actually argues that learning this way independently has some real advantages, doesn't it?
It does. Like, you completely control your own schedule, your pace. You can focus on things you find interesting, which helps motivation.
And it builds self-discipline, which is useful everywhere. Plus, the obvious one.
Saves money, a lot of money. And, the guide points out lots of fluent speakers throughout history didn't learn in a classroom.
Right. They learn through immersion, through consistent habits.
Yeah. So the message is basically, you can do this too.
It's framed as a strategic choice, not just a second best option.
Okay, so let's dig into the actual system this guide proposes. It starts right at the beginning, whether you're like totally new or already know a bit.
Right. The first big thing is building your foundation. The guide is really clear. You need core vocabulary, basic grammar patterns, essential phrases.
Not aiming for perfection, though, right? Just enough to start actually using the language.
Exactly. Enough structure to start trying things out. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, kind of all at once.
And it points to free tools for this. Things like Duolingo, lots of people know that one, the gamified app.
But also things like BBC Learning English. They have these short English Yet the Movies clips. Great for vocab and context.
Oh, yeah. And YouTube channels, too. It mentions Speak English with Mr. Duncan, English Addict, English Class 101. Lots of visual and audio learning there.
And the key strategy here, according to the guide, is setting a manageable goal. Like, aim for maybe 10 new words a day.
Just 10. Okay.
Yeah, and immediately try using them in basic sentences. It's all about applying it right away, building all those skills together from the get-go.
And they suggest using free flashcard apps, too, like Anki or Quizlet, for making sure that new vocab actually sticks.
Yeah, consistent review, crucial early on.
Yeah.
That vocabulary base is really the bedrock.
Okay.
So once you have that bit of foundation, the guide moves to what it calls like the single most natural and effective accelerator. Listening consistently, daily.
Listening every day. That's the second pillar. Makes sense. The guide compares it to how babies learn, right? Just being surrounded by the sounds.
Exactly. Your brain is apparently wired to pick up patterns through immersion, even if you're not consciously understanding every single word.
So where do you find all this free listening stuff?
Well, podcasts are huge. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever app you use, it suggests shows like All Ears English for Conversation, The English We Speak for Idioms.
Oh, the BBC one? Yeah.
And even structured lessons like ESL Pod. Lots of variety.
And YouTube again, right? Videos with subtitles. BBC Learning English comes up again. Speak English with Vanessa.
And here's one maybe people don't think of. Free audiobooks. LibriVox has tons of public domain books read aloud.
Oh, interesting. So the goal isn't necessarily understanding everything perfectly.
Not at all, according to the guide. It's consistency. Just 15, maybe 30 minutes a day. Train your ear. Get used to the rhythm, the sounds.
And they specifically say, try not to stress about understanding every word.
Yeah, resist that urge. Focus on the general meaning. It lowers anxiety and lets your brain do its pattern matching thing naturally over time.
Okay, makes sense. So you've got a basic foundation. You're listening every day. But speaking, that feels like the hard part if you're alone. How does the guide tackle that?
Right. Practicing speaking solo, it offers some clever techniques that force you to actually make the sounds out loud.
Like what?
One is called shadowing. You listen to a native speaker podcast clip, video, whatever, and you immediately repeat exactly what they said.
Mimicking everything. Pronunciation, rhythm.
Yep. Intonation, too. Feels weird at first, the guide admits, but it directly trains your mouth and brain for English sounds.
Huh. Okay. What else?
Another one, maybe even more awkward feeling, is talking to yourself.
Really?
Yeah. Like narrate what you're doing. Okay, I'm making coffee now. Looking for my keys. It forces recall and sentence building in real time.
I can see how that would work, actually. Forces you to think in English.
And it suggests using your phone's voice recorder. Record yourself talking about something simple for a few minutes.
Listening back to yourself. That takes guts.
It does. But it's super powerful for catching your own pronunciation or grammar issues.
And what about talking to, actual other people for free?
Good question. The source points to free language exchange apps. Things like HelloTalk, Tandem, Speaky.
Oh, where you find someone learning your language and you teach each other.
Exactly. Mutual practice.
So the goal for speaking isn't fluency right away. It's just making noise.
Pretty much. The guide says aim for at least 10-20 minutes of producing English sounds out loud daily. Consistency.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the less hesitant you become.
Okay. Listening, speaking. What's next? Reading.
Yep. Reading daily is another pillar. The guide sees it as a really powerful way to just soak up vocabulary and context. And you start to internalize sentence structures without even realizing it.
And again, free resources.
Loads. For starters, simplified news sites like newsandlevels.com or VOA Learning English.
Good for beginners.
And children's books. Lots of free ones online. Oxford Owl, International Children's Digital Library are mentioned.
And for more advanced stuff?
Free ebooks. Project Gutenberg, manybooks.net, tons of classics and other stuff.
Any tips for how to read effectively?
Yeah, keep a list of new words you see, and then try to use them yourself in a sentence pretty soon after. Make it active.
And the daily goal is small again?
Super manageable. Read like 1 or 2 pages.
Yeah.
Or one short news article. It's the habit, not the volume, especially at first.
Okay. Listening, speaking, reading. That leaves writing.
Right. The guide stresses writing practice, too. Helps organize your thoughts in English, locks in vocabulary, and you naturally get better at grammar by, using it.
So what kind of free writing practice?
Simple stuff. Start an English journal. Just 3 to 5 sentences about your day. Or use online writing prompts if you need ideas.
But how do you know if you're making mistakes? That's always the issue with self-study writing.
The guide tackles that directly. It recommends places like LangCorrect or the subreddit r/WriteStreakin'. You can post your writing and get corrections from other learners or native speakers.
Oh, cool. Crowdsourced feedback.
Exactly. And it even mentions using modern tools like free AI ChatGPT is named to get instant feedback on your grammar and phrasing.
Wow. Okay. So again, consistency is the message.
Every single day. Write something, even 1 sentence. Just the act of producing written English matters.
This is a lot of different activities. Listening, speaking, reading, writing.
It is. And that leads to the 6th key part of the system, which is often missed. Repeat and review.
Making sure it actually sticks.
Precisely. The guide says real learning isn't just seeing something new once. It's revisiting it, reinforcing it until it's automatic.
So back to those flashcard apps, Anki and Quizlet.
Essential for vocabulary review? Yes. And it suggests using free grammar checkers, like the basic Grammarly, to help you spot and learn from writing mistakes during review.
And it talks about spaced repetition. What's that?
Think of it like smart scheduling for your reviews. Instead of cramming, you review things just as you're about to forget them. After a day, then maybe 3 days, then a week, and so on.
Okay.
The guide explains this taps into how memory actually works. Makes your review time way more efficient. Helps things stick long term.
So building review into the routine is just as important as learning new stuff.
Absolutely critical, according to the source. Don't just pile on new info. Make sure the old stuff stays solid.
Okay, this system seems comprehensive, but maybe a bit like homework.
Well, here's where the guide gets really smart, I think. The next strategy is basically combine your passions with English.
Ooh, tell me more.
Instead of treating English learning as this separate chore, you weave it into things you genuinely enjoy doing anyway.
Like what? Give me examples.
Okay, love football, watch the post-match interviews in English, into cooking, find English tutorials on YouTube, play video games, switch the language setting,
Music.
learn the lyrics, sing along. The point is, you're already motivated by the activity itself.
Right. So learning the language is sort of happens alongside it. Doesn't feel like studying.
Exactly. And the guide argues you learn faster and remember more because it's tied to something meaningful, something you actually like. Positive emotions help learning.
That makes so much sense. So they put it all together, like a sample schedule.
They do offer a sample daily routine just to show it's practical with free stuff. Like maybe listen to a short podcast bit while having coffee.
Okay.
15 minutes reviewing vocab on an app during your commute. Watch a quick YouTube video at lunch. Maybe do that shadowing thing for a few minutes in the afternoon. Write a couple of sentences in your journal before dinner. Read a short article before bed.
Wow, broken up like that, it sounds doable. Not overwhelming.
And it stresses you don't have to follow that schedule or do all those things every single day. Find your own rhythm.
But the point is, even just 30 minutes total, focused and consistent, spread out, using these free tools, it adds up massively over time.
That's the core message, which leads right into the guide's sort of final pep talk.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
You can do this, and you absolutely, positively do not need to pay for it.
It's really within reach. Right now, on your own terms.
The guide insists, like, don't wait for a class, don't wait to buy books, don't need anyone's permission.
You've got the internet, your phone, these specific free resources they list. Combine that with your own motivation and consistency.
And you become your own best teacher. That's the argument.
Every time you choose to listen, or speak, or read, or write using these free methods, you're building fluency.
And the guide paints a really nice picture of where that leads.
Yeah, that moment you realize, hey, I just watched that whole movie, no subtitles, or you dash off an email without sweating it, or even write a story.
Or just have a conversation, feeling confident, sounding natural, fluent.
And the journey to that point, according to this guide we've unpacked, it starts with just deciding.
Yeah, that single decision to take control of your own learning, independently, for free.
This whole deep dive, it really hammers home the guide's point, doesn't it? The plan is there, the free tools are definitely out there.
Right. The biggest hurdle isn't really money or access to schools anymore. It's making that choice to start, and then finding the consistency to keep going.
Exactly. The guide almost implies that just taking that step, deciding to be self-directed in learning English, that might be the most important part.
It makes you think, you know?
Yeah.
This idea that you can build that kind of initiative, that self-discipline in this area, teaching yourself a whole language from scratch for free.
Yeah.
Maybe that builds a kind of core strength, something that could actually spill over and empower you in other parts of your life too.
Huh. That's definitely something to mull over, especially if you're thinking about starting this journey yourself.